So hey Dan,
Hey,
we are here on the 4MS booth. It's NAMM 2023,
that's right.
and you've got 4 new things to show us, right?
Yeah, we have some new modules, some new low-cost modules, and they are also available as kits. So we're excited to launch this new series that hopefully make things a little more affordable and still keeping things very high quality like you're used to at 4MS. So we have 2 modules launching it off: the sampler, which is a variation of the stereo triggered sampler, and the looping delay, which is a variation of the dual looping delay. And again, they're available as DIY kits, all through hole, super easy to assemble, even for beginners. They have a little plug-in DSP brainboard that has the harder to solder stuff that's already pre-soldered for you, and the firmware is already on there, so you just build it and go. Or if you're not the kind of person that wants to pick up a soldering iron, that's totally fine. We also have them as fully built units that ready to go, just like a regular Eurorack module. So let me do a little demonstration of these first 2 we have. The sampler is dead simple interface. It plays samples from a wave files from an SD card, and the files are arranged into banks by just put them in a folder, and that makes a bank, up to 10 samples per bank. The interface is super simple, no menu diving, just press play, and it plays the sample. You turn the knob to select which sample you're playing, and you can hold down play to loop. The bank button chooses the bank. You can play super long samples up to like hours and hours. I think actually several days long is the longest sample it can play, as long as it fits on your SD card. You have controls for pitch, and of course length, and start position. Length can go super short. We'll do some interesting things with that. If you want a CV, I have a VCA running on LFO. If I sweep the start position, so you can hear kind of granular pulling through that. Or backwards. So there's some of the things you can do with this. Also, of course, CV for pitch, so you can easily plug it into a sequencer, CV sequencer, and trigger for the playback. It can record also if you hold these 2 buttons down, then it goes into record mode. And this is one of the differences between the stereo triggered sampler and this, is that besides that it's 1 channel, is that it also only can record or play at one at a time, not both at the same time. If one of the things it has that the STS doesn't have is you can CV the bank here, so which is kind of fun and can get super random. So the banks are selected by semitone. So if you have a sequencer set up with just each note on the keyboard up for the first 5 octaves, will select the bank. And of course you have reverse. You can play in reverse, in an end out, and everything has CV. Everything has trigger inputs. So I forgot to say, it comes included with the same SD card that the STS does. So the Sample Pack 2022 that we had is included with this. So also this works really well with the next module, the looping delay. This is a looping delay. So the delay time is set by a clock. Either you tap it or an external clock you can feed in, and you can also, this is a super low jitter PLL clock, so you can feed it out to things. Here, let me just kind of, if I play into this, let me get it. Here's some echoes. Let me go back to us. So this is 8th note echoes. I'm going to take the clock out, which is basically this flashing light here, and use that to trigger so you can hear it on the beat. So this is 8th note echoes. I can turn up feedback. More. Of course, it goes to 100, like a good feedback knob should do. It goes crazy if you want. You can change the timing. So it's all divisions or multiples of the clock. So here's like triplets. Five-eighths notes. Whatnot, bars. So you can do short stuff. You can also go super long. Here I'll do an 8-bar sequence. Sorry, not sequence, loop. You can do an 8-bar. I'm going to do an 8-bar loop, and the loops can go up to 1.5 minutes long of memory, and that's at 48 kilohertz, 24-bit. So here I have so it doesn't get boring, I'm going to CV the sample on the sampler, and I'm going to keep that in time with the loop by triggering my LFO every time the loop ends, which is the 8-bar loop. So here we go. Now if I turn feedback up to 100%, it'll lay down these sounds and keep them there forever because it's 100%. I'm going to let that go for 1 bar. I'm going to hold it. So I hit infinite hold, so now that's locked into memory, this 8-bar loop. And I'm going to try another bank here. Okay, there's some saxophone samples. I'm going to bring that down a little in the mix so it doesn't overwhelm by turning the delay feed down. Pull off infinite hold and because 8 bars of this.
So like sound on sound, like
sound on sound, yeah. I'm showing how you can set up layers. Okay, let's try another bank. Some more percussive things, that's kind of cool. I'm going to do some more of that on a different bank. Okay, that's enough of that. So we have a kind of interesting loop. I'm going to throw down a little bit more. Go to some piano samples. So I'm going to hit these on, get 8 bars of these. And I'm going to do something interesting. I'm going to reverse the loop while I'm recording onto it. So it's going to record the backwards loop, but the piano sample's on top forward. Pull that up and loop it out. Okay, now so there's an 8-bar loop I have there. I'm going to, just so you know, this is all in memory here. It's not coming from the sampler at all. Another thing you can do is you can change the loop size without changing the sound, without compressing the pitch shifting it or anything. So here's 1 bar. And right back to the original loop. All there in memory, doesn't ever lose it. Another interesting thing you do is you can peel layers off by windowing back in time. So everything we've been doing this whole video is down in memory, and I can window back and pull out different loops of that. So I'll show that. If I just sweep back. So there's before the piano samples, or just at the tail of them. So they're pulled off the rest of them. Right, so I can just peel back in time here before some of those drum samples.
So you're holding reverse and turning the feedback there, yeah?
Right, holding reverse and turning feedback when it's infinite looping moves your window, the looping window back, and I can go right back to it. I didn't delete any layers. There's the piano things again. Right, so super. I'll let this fade out a little bit. So it's super versatile. There's CV for everything, all 4 knobs, in which is even a feature the DLD doesn't have CV for wet dry. There's an effects loop, send return.
Right, yeah, I was going to ask about that. So because it's obviously very clean, having like putting a filter or something in between the in the feedback loop would allow you to have something that's a bit more like vibey or whatever.
Yeah, super useful. You can even do, if I some like really, really short delays, car plus strong type things. If I can patch that in. And pull out a CV. So super short delays, and I'm just gonna fake it and tap really fast. So let me go to more like, maybe let me try a slower clock to hit it. So if you hit the, let me try it with this one to trigger it a little bit more slowly. So a very, very short delay can actually cause kind of like a, I think it's a wave guided. So if you turn feedback up, sometimes you can capture it kind of. Kind of echoey things, and like this is just it's just this sample, but being thrown through. So that's another thing you can do with it. That's the basic features of these. There's a few more things going on with them you can do, but let me kind of summarize the price and expected ship date. So the sampler, I'll start with the looping delay will be $175 for the kit version, and that'll be $275 for the built version, available in late June. And then the sampler will be $199 for the kit version and $299 for the built version, also in late June, and that's in US dollars. So we are pretty excited about having these out soon.
Brilliant. Well, Dan, thank you very much.
Thanks.